Hello, fabulous second and third graders. Today we are talking about Notan. We're working on finding balance, okay? In our artwork, we would like to have balance in our artwork. There's different ways to find balance. You can have it symmetrical, you can have it asymmetrical, and you could have it radial symmetry. Those are different ways to find balance. Okay, and we are going to be having these materials. We have these materials in our supply bag today. So you're going to start just with that piece of paper, okay? We're going to make a plan. You're going to do this with a pencil. So I'm going to just very carefully just edge my corner so I know where it's going to be. So now I know where that inside of that shape is. If I wanted, I could draw out that whole whole square. If that's easier for you and you're going to be able to understand it better, great, go for that. So I'm drawing right on those edges. All right, now I'm going to make my plan. Okay, so whatever is on the inside of my square is going to pop out and flip. We're going to talk about negative and positive space, okay? So I'm going to say on this side, I'm going to start right here on this line. And I'm going to make some sort of curved line that starts on this line and ends on this line. This side, I might do a different kind of line. I might make it more looking like a leaf or I don't know. Just remember, you have to cut it out. Whatever you're going to design, you have to cut out. So I could also make smaller pieces if I wanted. And I made 2 on that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. That's going to be a more complicated one. So if you're in 2nd grade, you may not want to make double lines. Okay, my last one, I have a lot more space in the middle, so I might take that up. Just making sure our lines are starting and ending on that same side. Okay, so this is my plan. So what's going to happen when I cut this out, right? I'm going to flip it and put it right there. So now I have my plan. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw what I see. So on this side, I only see this curved line. It goes in, bump, curve, over. And if it's not exactly the same, that's okay. On this side, it's pretty big. It starts here, bump, has some wavy lines there. I changed that a little bit, and that's okay. This side, I have something that goes up and down. I have it up and down. And this time, make sure they touch. I have the second piece right there. And finally, this side. And remember, if you need to edit and change as you go, that's a great thing to do. Many artists change their work from their first draft to their second draft. So then I flip my paper over. I have a blank draft and I have my plan. So then I start my cutting, okay? So to know where I'm going to be, I know I need more space. These 2 sides, I need more space. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm going to make marks. I'm just going to make the corner marks because that's all I need. Because then I'll know where to glue it when I'm done. I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to cut, and I need to keep everything that I'm cutting. Right, I'm cutting this out. I'm trying to stay as close to on that line as I can. And I'm continuing to cut right like this. And it's okay if you want to flip your whole paper over and you don't see those lines. That sounds like a great idea. Just is going to get a little bit confusing. Just make sure the whole paper has no white lines showing. Okay, so what I would say is if I'm going to do that, the problem is one side or the other is going to have some white lines. So you can either do it that way, or I can have this flat. I think I might prefer doing it that way. So that's my first one. Then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to work on my second line. Curve it. Notice how as I'm cutting, I'm laying each piece right next to where I cut it so I don't lose them. Okay, so I've cut out all my pieces. I know this piece was here, so I'm flipping it over here. I'm just holding the spot for right now. Now this piece, notice how I have that smaller piece? I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out as well. So this piece was here, sorry, this piece was here. So I'm flipping it over, so it's going right here. So this is the negative and that's the positive. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip this piece back over that way. That gets a lot more complicated. So my next step is just going to be to glue all of these wonderful pieces down. When you glue, make sure you're moving your glue stick towards the outside, especially if you have smaller pieces, because your paper will rip if you don't. All right, so then I go ahead and I match up and I say, okay, here's the side that matches this one, and I'm gonna go and try and make that corner line up on the corner. Same thing over here, as close to on the corner as I can. On the corner and on the corner. Then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna add the rest of my pieces by gluing them down. If a corner is not gluing or not sticking, just add a little bit more glue, okay? This piece, it might be easier just to gently add some glue right on top. You know where you're gonna need to put it. Trying to line up that corner right with the other corner that you cut out. And mine is going off the page, and that's okay. Add a little more glue right here. Same thing, make sure, double check you're doing it in the right spot. And then go ahead and place your paper right onto the top. Just like that. And do the same thing on this side. Now notice I have some white lines. If once my paper is dry, I want to go back and try and erase some of those. I think that would be a great choice. And then my last side, adding that glue on, making sure I don't lose that little piece, double check every single time that it would fit. And last one, I'm gonna take this one and flip it. And then the other side right here. Oh, that was a lot of glue. Just kidding. There we go. So when I'm done, I'm gonna leave it. And then after it is dried, I might go back in with my eraser and erase out any extra pencil lines I have. And I only have one spot that actually goes off the page. If you have more than one spot, that's quite all right. We're looking to just try and find balance between the inside and the outside of your artwork.